mind-bending stuff. The information intent nexus framework suggests that the early universe might have gone through this exploratory phase driven by that primordial intent we talked about. It wasn't a perfectly planned out process, more like the universe trying different things, experimenting with different configurations. And the ones that didn't work out, the ones that didn't lead to stable matter or complexity, well, they're considered failed attempts.
So the early universe was like a giant laboratory running countless experiments. It's amazing to think about. But what happened to all those failed attempts? Did they just disappear into the cosmic void?
Not necessarily. The idea is that they might have left behind a kind of informational residue, and that residue could be what we now call dark matter. It has gravity, but it doesn't interact with light, which is why we can't see it directly. It's like the what not to do information from the early universe is still out there, shaping the cosmos through its gravitational pull.
Wow, dark matter as the ghosts of failed cosmic experiments. That's wild. And some of these sources even talk about incorporating intent directly into the equations of physics, like maybe even tweaking Einstein's field equations.
Yeah, there's this idea of treating intent as a fundamental field, maybe even a scalar field that affects the curvature of space-time. And some folks are going even further, suggesting that the metric tensor itself, which describes the geometry of space-time, might be a function of this underlying intent. It's all very speculative, but it's a completely different way of thinking about how the universe works.
And how does this tie into the idea of entropic gravity that we see in some of the sources?
Well, entropic gravity proposes that gravity might not be a fundamental force, but rather a consequence of the way information behaves at a very fundamental level. And the information intent nexus framework kind of lines up with this. It suggests that information itself has a kind of weight or influence. So if dark matter is a form of informational residue, its gravitational effects could be explained by entropic gravity, where the way this information is arranged and how it moves actually creates what we experience as gravity.
So gravity could be a side effect of the universe's information processing, driven by this underlying intent. It's mind-blowing. And what about the electron? One of the sources calls it a reality mapping tool. How does that fit in?
The framework suggests that the electron isn't just passively existing, it's actively gathering information about the universe through its interactions with other particles, those interactions that physicists visualize using Feynman diagrams. It's like the electron is a tiny sensor, constantly probing its environment, helping the universe map itself out. And the energy driving this mapping process could be tied back to that fundamental primordial intent.
It's like the universe is using these tiny particles to explore itself, to gather data. It's incredible. And what about quantum mechanics? Can the concept of intent help us understand some of the really weird stuff in quantum mechanics, like quantum uncertainty?
Well, the framework suggests that what we see as randomness in quantum